Hello, my name is Gina, and we will be doing a 60-minute vinyasa practice today entitled You Are the Answer. I'm so excited because I have a mother and her son practicing with me today. And I really think this is going to be an amazing practice because it's going to allow us to really focus on knowing that we have the tools within us already. A lot of times we go outside ourselves to find the answers of things that we want in life. But the reality is they're already inside of us. But unfortunately, sometimes we have blockages, things from the past, patterns that are called samskaras, that don't allow us to really fully ignite the power that's already within us. And so today we are going to be working on some detoxification poses, which are twists, and some standing poses, some inversions, and just really allowing ourselves to feel the power within with some warrior poses. So with that being said, get some blocks if you haven't already, and maybe some water. We might need that as well as we sit in our first easy seat pose and do some breath work. So I will be kind of going this way so that they can see me as well. So allow yourself to sit into your mat. Allow your sits bones to sink into the earth. Let go of the day. Breathe in and allow beautiful air to flow within your being. Maybe set an intention on what you'd like to work on today. What is it that you need to let go of so that you can remember the power within? We're going to do what's called Ujjayi breaths. Maybe keep your eyelids closed or softly gaze ahead. Soften the jaw. You're going to breathe in, and when you breathe out, it's almost going to be like an ocean wave at the back of your throat. And we're going to do about 5 of those. So let's breathe in and allow the exhale. Maybe even if you want, make it loud if you need to sigh anything out. Breathe in. Three more times at your own pace. So today, as we're working through our practice, just remember to take each pose at your own pace. Everyone's body is different, so work without judgment. With your hands on your knees, let's go ahead and put your left hand to the mat while you allow your right to come overhead and stretch. Allow that right side body where your intercostal muscles are to just open and breathe some beautiful air into your side. Now we're going to switch over to the other side. Allow your right hand to come to the mat as you allow your left to come overhead. Again, let's breathe into that left side body, keeping your sits bones on the mat, which are the bones beneath you. You're on the earth, almost like a cloud. Now let's take that left hand and let's put it behind us and allow the right to come over to your left knee. And you're going to do a little bit of a twist to the left-hand side, slowly gazing over that left shoulder if it's in your practice. The great thing about twists is that it allows us to detoxify those things that no longer serve us. Now take that left hand and you're going to cross it over the right, and you're going to bring it onto your right knee And allow your back a little micro bend, which is kind of like what we call a cat. Allow the chin to come to your chest and breathe. Now go ahead and pull yourself forward as you take your right hand and now bring that one to the back. And allow for a side body stretch on the other side with your left hand on your right knee. Maybe gaze over your right shoulder. And breathe. Again, let's take that right hand and bring it over the left. Crisscross for another cat, half cat, which is to bring your chin to your chest and allow your lumbar spine to get lubricated at the base of your spine. And let's bring it forward. Great. And now we're going to kind of shake out some things here. Allow your hands to come to your knees, and we're going to do some torso twists. Just bringing your whole body all the way around. Maybe even like allow your head to fall forward. Maybe allow the neck to get a little bit of a stretch. We're going to do this 2 more times, keeping your sits bones on the mat. And let's take it to the other side. Whew. Allowing your spine to just really flow and taking your time at your own pace. Sometimes we get so busy in our day, we just forget to loosen up a little bit. And that's great. Now you're going to place your hands on your knees. Come back this way. You're going to bring the heels of your feet together for what we call a Supta Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. Bring your feet together at your own pace. Don't force it. This is a great added stretch for your back as well. And what you're going to do is either grasp your feet or come forward like this, or you can even bring your hands out. Again, just go at your own space and grace. Listen to your body and breathe. Don't force it. Just take your time. Let's slowly rise. And you're going to bring your knees together. Whew. And we're going to come back around for tabletop. Plant your hands into the mat at hip width apart. Allow your knees to also be hip width apart. Untuck the toes for tabletop. Now take your right hand and slowly bring it up to the ceiling, allowing for another stretch kind of next to the tailbone. You're going to thread that hand up under your left arm, allowing your right shoulder to hit the mat as well as your right cheek. And if it's in your practice, if you feel good, allow your left hand to kind of come all the way to the top of the front of the mat. If you feel even want to try a little bit of a challenge, you can take what's called a bind by taking your left arm and bringing it behind your waist. And you can pull your left shoulder out just a little bit more. And breathe as your glutes are in the air. Allow that left hand to come back to the front of the mat and lift yourself up, allowing that right hand to float back to the sky. Again, take this at your own pace. And you can go ahead and plant that right hand back to the mat and adjust your stance for your table again. We're going to take it to the other side. Allow your left hand to come up to the sky for that side body stretch on the right side. And slowly bring it up underneath you, allowing your left cheek to come to the mat as your glutes go into the air. Again, you can take that right hand for an added stretch and bind, bringing your shoulder back. Great, guys. Go ahead and bring your right hand back to the mat and slowly lift, bringing your left arm up, back up to the sky before planting it back down onto the mat. Adjust your table, and we're going to do what's called bird dog. So you might want to bring yourself up just a little bit closer to your mat. An option to use blocks here. So if you feel like you need some added just support, go ahead and use your blocks. Otherwise, keep your hands planted in the mat. And go ahead and stretch that right calf muscle out, extending that right leg back. Bird dog is when you lift up the right leg. Again, you can add some support here with your block, but bring up your right leg and allow that left hand to come forward. Stretch out in front of you. Now, if you really want to take a challenge, you can do a couple of crunches here. But again, maybe use your block instead of putting your hands out as well. That's another added support. Go ahead and bring your right knee back. And we're going to take it on the other side. So let's go ahead and stretch out that left leg. And breathe. Slowly lift it for bird dog. And again, allow that right hand to come out. Or again, you can keep it on your block. And then again, if you want to do a little challenge, you can go elbow to knee and go ahead and bring it back to your mat. Great. Now we're going to actually take what's called cat-cow, but we're going to start with cow first. Keeping your body at the tabletop, go ahead and drop your stomach, just almost like you're arching your back, and allow the crown of your head to come forward. And then you're going to bend in a small micro bend to do your cat, allowing the crown to come towards the earth, chin on chest. And then while you're here, you're going to kind of sit back into what's child's pose, allowing the glutes to come onto your thighs. And you're going to slowly rise back up and arch your stomach again, coming in for cow. And bring it back up for cat. Again, let's sit back in for child's pose. And just doing some movement here where we come in and allow our belly to come to the earth as we bring our head up for cow again. And then arch your back for cat. And let's sit down one last time for child's pose and maybe take a few breaths here, allowing your forehead to come to the mat for child's pose before we really heat it up. Now slowly rise. We're going to do downward facing dog. Keeping your hands on the mat, you're going to lift up from your feet and allow your torso to come to the sky. And this is your first downward facing dog of the day. So you want to pedal out your feet and just allow your knees to bend. If it feels too much, it's hard for you to keep your feet straight up, it's okay. Go ahead and keep a little micro bend in your knees. But go ahead and pedal it out. You hear all these cracks in my body. And that's great. And then you want to do 3 steps to the front of your mat between your hands. And you're now in what's called a forward fold. Allow the crown of your head to come down while your hands stay planted into the mat. Maybe a little micro bend in your knees. Option to take your blocks as well to hold and support yourself here. Okay, we're going to do what's called a salutation A. So next you want to take your hands and put them on your shins, allowing for a flat back. Allow the crown of your head to lift. And breathe. We're going to take the first modification of sun salutation A, which is allow your hands to come back to the mat, and you're going to step back slowly for plank. And your hands should be hip width apart. Now, the first variation of sun salutation A, which is Surya Namaskar A, is to allow your knees to come down, then your chest and chin, and then allow the top part of your body to float up, allowing your heart to shine forward for baby cobra with your elbows by your side. Great, guys. Now you want to push yourself back up for that downward facing dog again. And breathe. Breathe. Okay, let's take 3 more steps to the top of the mat again. And at our forward fold, go ahead and bend your right knee. Allow the right hand to be planted on the mat or on your block. And keeping the left leg straight, you're going to extend that left arm up to the sky, allowing for what's called a revolved forward fold. And breathe. Great. Allow your left hand to come back to the mat. Let's take it to the other side. Bend that left leg and allow your right hand to come up to the sky again. Taking that little twist here. Great. Plant your hands back into the mat, and seeing we're here at forward fold, allow the crown of your head to float towards the earth. Again, take your hands to your shin and allow for the flat back. And I'm going to go ahead, put your hands back down and step back for plank again. Settle into your plank, allowing the navel to come to your spine. Now you could take that knees, chest, chin variation, or you could do what's called Chaturanga Dandasana, which is you come all the way down like a push-up, and then you bring your body all the way up off the floor, including your thighs, for upward facing dog, or you can take that baby cobra variation. Now bring yourself all the way back up for downward facing dog. Great job, guys. Breathe. Allow yourself to breathe. Now you're going to do what's called Malasana squat, which you want to bring your right and your left foot to the edges of the mat and sink into your squat. Now, option to take your blocks up under your sits bones and allow your hands to come into prayer at your heart center. Take a minute to settle in. Great job, guys. Now you want to bring your hands back up to the mat and allow yourself to come on up and heel toe your feet together for our favorite downward facing dog. Allow yourself to breathe. Wonderful. You want to walk straight up, take 3 steps, and we're going to root to rise, which is vertebrae by vertebrae. Slowly bring your hands up all the way to the sky, allowing your hands to be by your side for Tadasana, mountain pose. And breathe. Give yourself a minute to root into the earth. You want to bring your hands up to the sky, allow the fingertips to touch, and swan dive back down to forward fold. We're going to take another vinyasa, which is the sun salutation flow. So let's do that halfway. And allow your hands to come back to step back for plank again. Again, you can do your knees, chest, chin, or you can do your chaturanga by bringing yourself down. And you could either do your baby cobra here or upward facing dog, allowing the thighs to come off to the mat. And bringing yourself all the way back for your downward facing dog. Wonderful. Now this time you're going to walk your hands to your feet so you're at the back of your mat and slowly root to rise. Take a minute here to settle in. Good job, guys. And now we're going to do what's called a Mayat pose, which you want to bring your hands to heart center. We're going to start off with the right foot. Bring your knee up and allow the right foot to extend and then plant it into the middle of the mat. Great. Allow your left heel to come up. Now you want to allow yourself to come down onto your knee, onto your left knee. Great. Untuck the toe and sit on that left thigh. Again, option to take a block, put it up underneath you, whatever feels best. With your hands here in heart center, you want to twist to the left. Allow that right elbow to push away your right knee. Now you want to open up your hands almost to like a, kind of like a T here, allowing your arm to push away your right knee and bring it all the way up to a T. Great job. You want to look forward, which is focus on a point. It's called a drishti point, which is a point of focus that allows you to just focus and center yourself. You want to look into the middle and now look over your left shoulder. Bring your T all the way forward. Allow yourself to cactus your arms and bring your hands together for heart center. Slowly lift up yourself again in that form with the leg in front and the leg in the back. Take your time. Great job. Bring your left knee up to your chest and let that one step out to the front, allowing the right foot to come off the mat. Like kind of like train tracks here. Allow the right knee to bend down and untuck the toes and sit on that right thigh. Slowly. There you go. Go ahead and twist to the right this time and look straight ahead before opening the arms to push away your knee. Bring your arms up for a T and look ahead. You are a warrior. You have the power within. Look to the center again before facing the back, looking over your hand. Bring your whole T to the front. Great. And let's cactus the arms before bringing the hands back to heart center. And slowly lift yourself back up to the top of the mat for Tadasana. Wonderful. Settle in. I'm going to come back here a little bit. Again, let's bring our hands up to the sky. With your right hand, go ahead and grasp your left wrist and twist your body, stretching it over to the right. Come back to center, and let's do it on the left side, grabbing your right wrist with your left hand and stretching over to the left. Let's come back to center and swan dive your hands back down for our favorite flow. Forward fold. Halfway lift with your hands on your shin, allowing for a flat back. Go ahead and put your hands back on the mat. You can hop or step back for plank. Again, you can knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana down to upward facing dog or baby cobra, and pushing back for downward facing dog. Let's take 5 breaths here to center ourselves. Wonderful. Now raise your right leg as much as you can. Don't force it. And you're going to bring it between your 2 hands in the front of your mat. Allow for that back foot to angle and slowly cartwheel your arms for warrior 2. You should be looking over your right fingertips and focus on your drishti point. Back leg should be extended, right should be over, not too far over your toes. Make sure they're not. You are a warrior, powerful. Now allow that left hand to come over to the left thigh and slowly bring that right overhead. Stretching that right side body again. Option to gaze up at the ceiling or maybe softly ahead. Now you want to bring your right hand over to that right knee and allow the left hand to come overhead. You almost want your leg to be an extension of where your arm is at. Now slowly, now this is when you could take a block here. Allow that hand to come down to the mat. And you want to extend that right leg. And then you want to cartwheel this arm around and bringing it up for triangle pose. Again, you could use the block here. You can adjust your stance. Triangle pose will have your hands, your left arm straight up. Option to look up at the hand or down at your triangle pose. And breathe. Let's bend back into that knee and circle your arms back up for your warrior two. Great job, guys. Breathe. Now bring your hands down by your feet and pivot that back foot and step to the front of your mat for forward fold to prepare us for another sun salutation A. Let's halfway lift. Hands down again. Step back or jump for plank and chaturanga or knees, chest, chin to the mat. Baby cobra or upward facing dog. All the way down to downward facing dog. Wonderful. Now we're going to take it to the other side. Let's lift our left leg up to the sky at your own pace, your own space. Bring it between your right hands, your hands at the front, and allow yourself to cartwheel again for that warrior two. Great job. Go ahead and bend at the front knee. There you go. And look over your hands. Breathe. Now allow that right hand to come down to your right thigh. And go ahead and bring that left hand overhead. Now we're going to come over to an extended side angle again, allowing that left arm to rest on the left knee as the right hand comes overhead. Great. Now, option to take your blocks. Go ahead and allow your left hand to come down to the mat as you straighten out that left leg and allow the right hand to float up to the sky for triangle pose. Great job, guys. Go ahead and bend at the knee again and cartwheel the arms for your warrior two. You have the power within. It's always been there. Let's bring our hands back to frame that front foot as you pivot the back one and slowly step up for a forward fold again. Take an inhale and exhale. Notice how you feel in comparison from earlier. Let's halfway lift, hands on your shins, and step back or hop for plank. And again, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana, all the way up to upward facing dog with your thighs off, bringing yourself back up for downward facing dog. Wonderful. Let's walk 3 steps to the front of the mat and slowly root to rise for Tadasana, which is mountain pose. Breathe. Take a minute to center yourself. Now you want to either bring your hands to your chest for at the heart center, or you can airplane your arms. This is going to be warrior 3. So you want to get in a little bit of a space between your feet here. Again, option to use your blocks. You can bring those in front of you. We're going to do warrior 3. What that is planting your right foot in the mat. You're going to slowly bring the left one out to the back. Again, you could use your blocks here. or keep your hands to heart center. Oops. And float. Warrior 3. You can bring your hands out like an airplane and then slowly bring that leg back up. You can, we're going to do what's called tree pose. You can either bring your toes here by your ankle. You can bring it up to your knee. If it's in your practice, you can bring it all the way up to the perineal. And then option to bring your hands overhead or by your side or on your waist. Again, you can bring them down here to your ankle. You can keep your hands by your waist. Tree pose. And breathe. Allow that foot to slide down and steady yourself in the mat while we take it to the other side. Now we're going to plant our left foot into the mat as we allow our right one to float back. Again, option to use your blocks. Option to have your hands out in airplane. This is all about balancing and strength. Again, do it at your own pace. Slowly bring that right knee up and bring it in for your variation of tree pose. Knees, ankles, or even all the way up, which is way up here. Ooh. Hands can be up in the sky, whatever feels best for you. Let's slowly bring it back down for Tadasana. Go ahead and allow your feet a few inches apart. We're going to do chair pose, which is almost like you're sitting in a chair without the chair. Bring your hands forward and sit into a chair, allowing your quads to strengthen, allowing your glute muscles to engage. As you breathe in and out, maybe even sink in a little lower before bringing your hands to heart center. Now, again, we're doing these detoxifications, so you want to twist to the right, allowing the elbow to come up to the sky. Option to take blocks and twist your body here. Or again, you can gaze up at the sky or look down. Let's bring back to heart center at the front and slowly allow your left leg to come behind you. Bend into that right knee and bring your hands up for crescent lunge. Steady yourself. Breathe. Feel the power within. You have it. Allow yourself to twist to the right by allowing your hands to float before bringing them back up again for your crescent lunge. Wonderful. Let your hands frame your foot and step up. And this time we're going to take chair pose on the other side. Bring your hands up again. Allow them to come to your chest. Shining your heart forward. Maybe sink through each inhale and exhale before twisting to the left. Breathe. Gaze up at the elbow if you can. Again, option to use your blocks here. Let's untwist, and this time bring the right leg back and allow your hand to come up for crescent lunge. At this time, we're going to twist over to the left. Great job, guys. Before bringing your hands back up for your crescent lunge. And step to the front of the mat. Slowly lowering ourselves down for that forward fold again. Breathe. Maybe ragdoll your hands and allow the head to bop back and forth. Maybe bring some space and do an infinity 8 with your elbows. We've been lighting some fires. This gives you a chance to breathe it out. Wonderful. Let's put our hands back down. We're going to take another vinyasa flow. Notice how you feel in comparison to earlier, right? Each time as you stretch out the body more, you're allowed to even be surprised how it works. We can come down even more, closer to your chest, in your knees. Let's halfway lift. And again, step or hop back for plank. Settle yourself into your plank, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. To upward or baby cobra. And meet me back into your downward facing dog. Fantastic, guys. And now you want to hover your knees and come back up to downward facing dog. Let's do that 2 more times. Make sure you're breathing. And on the last try, let's go ahead and plant the knees to the floor, untuck the toes, and come up slowly for gate pose. We're going to get kneeling pose first. With your hands on your hips, you're going to extend the left foot out. Go ahead and put your left hand on your left leg and allow again for that added side body stretch by your intercostal muscles. Soften the gaze. Allow the chin to relax. And breathe. Go ahead and circle that arm here. Allow it to sit by your knee. Sit back on your knee here and bring your left arm forward and circle it up to bend back for what's called a flip dog. And then go ahead and sit back on that leg and allow that left hand to float back to the left leg and get right back up for your stretch again. Great, guys. Let's go back to center, and I'm going to take it to the other side. So go ahead and get back to your kneeling pose. Steady yourself. Awesome. Let's go ahead and stretch that right leg out and extend. Allow the right hand to rest on the right leg as you stretch that left overhead while you're on your knee. Again, if you need to use those kneeling pads, feel free to. And breathe. Again, let's sit on that left leg. Allow that left hand to come to the mat and circle that right arm over and around and flip your body, almost hinging it back for a flip dog. And then bring it back forward, allowing it to come back onto that right leg, and bring your left hand overhead again. Wonderful. Let's return to kneeling pose. And this is called a camel pose. Now you want to do this at your own. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, you could stay in kneeling pose and maybe take this type of variation when you're just bending back. You might want to take your blocks and bring them close to your ankles. Let's massage the back of our lumbar spine first. We're doing some amazing detoxification poses and vinyasa flows. Keeping your left hand on your hip or by your side, go ahead and just see if you can allow the right one to float back and grab your right ankle. Option to take a block and allow yourself to just shine your heart forward towards the sky. Let's bring it back up and let's try it on the other side. Bring your left hand around, grab your left ankle or a block, and allow yourself to just shine your heart forward this way. Now, while you're on your left side, see if you can take that right hand and come back to your ankle. Again, option to take a block, but squeeze your shoulder blades together, allowing your hip flexors and your pelvic area to float forward. Option to bring your chin to your chest, and you're in your beautiful camel pose. Slowly sit down onto your thighs and allow your knees to widen as you fall forward for your wide-legged child pose. Allow your spine to come to the floor as your forehead meets it there. Stretch it out. Take a few breaths here. Think about your intention that you set today. Are you remembering your power? Now slowly bring your hands to the front of the mat. You're going to bring your knees together. Allow for your glute muscles to be floating in the sky as you come forward with your chest for puppy pose. Bring your forehead to the chest. Option to bring your hands up in prayer or keep them straight down. Option to have your hands by your side if it feels a little awkward for you. Do what feels best for you. Puppy pose. And breathe. Now go ahead and bring your forearms up a little bit like this, keeping your hands together. And you're going to bring your feet, uncurl your toes, and allow your back side to come up almost like a downward facing dog, but you're on your forearms. This is what's called a dolphin pose. This is really good for the hip flexors and the forearms. Breathe, allowing your navel to come to your spine. Let's bring your knees back to the mat and rise again for our favorite downward facing dog. We're going to take one last little flow here. You can jump or walk 3 steps to the front of the mat for your forward fold. And slowly bring your crown of your head down. Let's halfway lift. Step or jump back for plank. And go ahead, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga down to the mat. Allowing your body to raise up for upward facing dog or baby cobra. And meet me back in downward facing dog. Great job. And now we're going to lift our right leg up and bring it between our hands. Allow for the back foot to angle and slowly lift for warrior 1. Adjust your stance. Settle in. Feel the power, the earth beneath your feet, from the root to your fingertips. Now allow your hands to frame your foot, or you can put your hands behind your back. You're going to straighten that front leg and slowly bring the crown of your head to your knee. Again, you can straighten that front leg, or option to use your blocks here as well for your pyramid pose. Great job. Now go ahead and pivot that back foot so it's straight like the front. Bend into your right knee. Allow your hands to come to the mat and slowly hinge up, allowing that left leg to float up to the sky for standing split. Again, take this at your own space and grace. Use the blocks. Blocks are great. Allows you to bring your forehead even closer to your leg. And slowly bring that left foot down to the mat, allowing the toes to touch. Then kneel on that left leg. Uncurl the toes for low lunge. And slowly rise for your low lunge. Allowing a little bit of a micro bend in your lower spine as the quads tighten and engage. Breathe here. Let's bring your hands to frame your front foot again. Maybe heel toe it, give you a little bit more space. And allow that right foot to come back for a half split. Now again, option to use your blocks here to come back even forward, allowing that right hip flexor to get a nice little stretch. Slowly, you're going to come forward for runner's lunge, like marathon, the Olympics. We got this. Let's come back again for half split. And lunge forward again for runner's lunge. Wonderful. You're going to heel toe that right foot over a little bit. Bring your hands to the front of that right foot and slowly allow that right leg to stretch down for lizard pose. Extending the left leg, again, option to take your blocks if you need to get a couple of them to sit on there. Whatever feels best for your body. This is lizard pose. Okay, great job, guys. Now uncurl the toes of that back foot. Allow it to lift you up. Circle that right foot back and come up for your downward facing dog. Great job. Let's step to the front of the mat for another flow before we take it to the other side, allowing the crown of your head to lower. Halfway lift. Step or hop back for plank. Chaturanga Dandasana, or knees, chest, chin, to baby cobra, upward facing dog, to downward facing dog again. And breathe. Now allow that left foot to come up to the sky and come between your hands at the front of the mat. Again, angle that back foot and root to rise all the way up for warrior one. Settle and breathe. Now either bring your hands behind your back, straighten that front foot, or frame that front foot to bring the forehead down for your pyramid pose. Again, do what feels best for your body. Wonderful. Now allow that back foot to pivot. Let's bend into that left knee. Allow that right to float up to the sky for your standing split. Again, option to use your blocks for that added support. Bringing the crown of your head down to the earth as your forehead comes closer to your knee. Wonderful. Slowly drop that right foot down. Get onto your knee. Untuck the toes. And rise for your low lunge. Maybe even pushing a little more. Get that added stretch in your hip flexors and that lower lumbar spine. Let's frame that front foot. Again, extend that left leg back for your half splits. Come back as far as you feel comfortable. And let's lunge forward for runner's lunge, marathon style. Let's come back again for half splits before lunging forward again. Wonderful, wonderful for runner's lunge. Again, we're going to take our left hand and put it on the inside of our left foot as we allow that right leg to extend and that left leg to fall over to the side for lizard pose. Now, option to come down to your forearms here. You can put your head on your forearms and relax, or maybe even take a block and relax. Or you can stay with your heart shining forward, almost like upward facing. Wonderful. Untuck the back toes. Let's lift that right leg and bring the left one back for downward facing dog. And breathe. Again, let's walk forward or step or hop to the front of the mat for our forward folds for our very last vinyasa flow. Halfway lift, Let's hands down for plank, step or jump back, plank. Again, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana, to upward facing dog or baby cobra, to downward facing dog. Wonderful job, guys. Go ahead and drop your knees to the mat, either wide or together for child's pose, and allow your body to sit on your thighs with your head resting on the mat. Good job, guys. Breathe. As we cool down, we're going to go on ahead and get on our backs. Go ahead and spin your feet around and allow your feet to come forward. We're going to take just a couple of cool down poses before we settle into Shavasana. You're going to get on your back and we're going to do what's called feet on the wall without the wall. Allow your feet. This is a great inversion pose. If it's in your practice, you can also lift your body up for a shoulder stand with your elbows to the mat, or stay down. Slowly, you can also bring your feet to the floor. I might need to come up a little ways. For plow, or you can stay with your feet standing up at the wall. And breathe. Great job. Now let's go ahead and bring the heels of your feet to the mat. You're going to take your right leg, let's bring it up to the sky, and we're going to fold it over and allow the ankle to come onto the left knee as you bring your right knee, push it away. Now, this is with figure 4. You can bring your hands through your legs and allow your hands to bring up your left leg, allowing your right elbow to push away that right leg for that added stretch in your glute muscles. Let's breathe. Now slowly bring your left foot back to the mat, keeping your right knee bent. Go ahead and let that right knee kind of drag over to the left side as you allow your whole left side to twist with your hands out to a T for an added relaxing stretch on the right side. Go ahead and bring your gaze over to the other shoulder. Take a minute to breathe. Now let's bring those feet back to center, uncross the feet, and we're going to take it to the other side. So go ahead and lift that left leg up to the sky and bend it over your right. It's almost like reclined pigeon. And now we're going to allow our hands, if it's in your practice, for a figure 4, allowing for that added stretch in the glute muscles here. Great job. Go ahead and allow that left foot to kind of float over to the right side as your knees just twist over to the right. Bring your arms to a T and slowly gaze over your left shoulder. Wonderful. Let's return to center. Uncross the feet and let's do one of my favorite poses. Go ahead and bring your feet up. You can take a peace sign. We're going to do happy baby pose. You could either bring your hands to the inside of your heels and push your knees down to almost like your armpits and massage your back and rock back and forth like a baby. Again, do what feels right. You might even want to dance with your feet. You know, just get some of those little added kinks out of there. Rocking back and forth. Wonderful. Now let's bring the heels of your feet together and allow your legs to come down into a reclined butterfly, allowing your hands to relax at the thighs. Butterfly is about transformation, change, and hope. You are transforming every day you try. Remember, you are the answer to everything you need. Today we worked on some blockages and removing them so you understand that you have the power within and you can feel those energy from your root chakra all the way up to the crown of your head. And breathe. Slowly allow your feet to come into each corner of your mat as we prepare for Shavasana. Maybe take a drink of water if you need it. Allow the hands to stretch overhead before you settle in. And bring your hands to your side, or maybe one on your heart and one on your belly, whatever feels best for you as you sit and relax silently, still, feeling like a cloud beneath you. As you allow the essence of our day and our practice together to keep you still, remembering the power you have already inside of you. And the next time you hear my voice will be to waken you from your stillness. In the meantime, gaze the crown of your head to your feet. Are you allowing each body part to relax? Allow your eyelids to soften and settle in for your Shavasana. Breathe. Let go. Now slowly allow for your eyes to flicker. Allow your fingers and your toes to flicker. At your own pace, allow yourself to get on your favorite side in a fetal position and lay on your side before slowly meeting me at the top of your mat. Thank you for allowing me to have this practice with you today. I wish you all the love and light that you deserve. The light and love in me honors the light and love in you. Namaste. Namaste.